So Bleach is a heavily talked about series in the anime community. Some people love it, some people absolutely despise it. But you can't deny how much impact Bleach has had on other series. I mean, without Bleach, we wouldn't have good series like Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man. Me personally, I love Bleach. Even if my journey through Bleach consisted of starting the anime and then seeing the art in the manga and starting to read the manga because I thought the art was way too cool to not see. However, the anime itself is very long. I mean, not the longest of the big three. We all know who that is. With being a pretty long series, around like 320 episodes, it's bound to have many opening sequences for the show. Bleach clocks in at 15 openings, and some of them are absolute bangers, and other ones are pretty good. So today, I'm going to go through and rank them all, from 15 being the worst, and number 1 being the best. I do want to preference and say that I don't think any of these openings are bad. I just think that different ones are better for different reasons. So how does someone who read most of Bleach, and only watched a little bit, rank the openings? Well, I'm going to be ranking the openings off 2 different things: visuals and music. If you have different ways of ranking your anime openings, or just different tastes in music, then that's perfectly fine. Alright, without any further ado, this is every Bleach opening ranked, from worst to best. Number 15. Opening 4, Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. Man, I really want to like this opening. But I think it's the way that Tonight is sung in the chorus that just does not do it for me. The song is pretty decent besides that, and I could definitely see how other people really like this opening. And I do like some of the visuals. Using the art that Kubo made for the chapter spreads is pretty cool. However, most of the other visuals consist of them just in street clothes or just still images. Nothing that gets me crazy excited to watch the show. It also probably doesn't help that this is during the Bounce arc, which is a filler arc I have not seen since I read. That, combined with the song being lackluster compared to some of the other openings, Tonight, Tonight, Tonight just falls in dead last for me. If I were to listen to any opening from Bleach right now, this would definitely not be the one I go to. Number 14. Opening 8, Chubra. My problems with this opening are the exact opposite of what I just listed for opening 4. The song in this one is actually pretty good, and I actually really enjoy listening to this one. However, the first part of the opening is just the dedicated beach episode as an anime opening. However, whenever it starts to pick up and you start to see stuff that actually happens in the arc, it actually gets pretty decent. I think my problem here is this is another filler arc, so I have no idea what's going on. Like, the best I can assume is that these ninja people want to take this little girl away, and Renji and Ichigo and the others want to stop them, but overall, I really couldn't tell you what this section of the anime is about. Which is nobody's fault but my own, and I'm sure people out there who love this filler arc are gonna hate me for that. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, it's just my opinion, so. Number 13. Opening 14, Blue. I actually really like the song in this one as well, and find myself humming it sometimes after I've listened to some of the openings while doing work or something. However, I guess I'm kind of a stickler for this one, because it comes right after one of the best openings in the show. And knowing what happens in that final climax, it just doesn't really make sense to see Ichigo doing what he's doing in this opening. Again, it would probably make more sense if I've actually seen some of these filler arcs, but I'll get to those one day. Maybe if I ever watch those, I can re-rank these openings based off of what I've seen. But now, since I haven't seen those, it just doesn't make sense to why they would be fighting each other at this point. Like, they just shut down the biggest threat to the Soul Society and now they're infighting. I'm sure it makes sense to people who have watched it, but for me, it makes absolutely no sense. Number 12. OP11, Anima Rosa. This is another opening with a really good song. I actually really enjoyed this song as well. Most of the Bleach openings in general have pretty good songs. However, being the uneducated manga-only person that I am, I have no idea what's going on in this arc either. I heard from a friend a while ago that there was an arc in Bleach where their Zanpakutos came to life. I'm guessing that's what this opening is for, and it's really weird to see Zabimaru as a person, or I guess 2 people. However, I can look past that, because once all the Zanpakutos are on screen, it's a pretty good opening. Seeing these personified souls adds to the ever-growing roster of Bleach. And I'm also just a stickler for openings where there's a bunch of characters on screen. You'll get to see more of that later. Number 11. OP10, Shoujo S. Man, I'm really upset with how low Shoujo S got placed on this list, because the song for this is an absolute banger. But again, the visuals just hold this one down for me. I really like seeing all the still frames of all the characters because it really shows you how many characters there are in Bleach. However, most of the animation is dedicated towards Rukia and Orihime dancing, which I guess is cool and all, but I guess it's just not for me. It must be for other watchers. That doesn't mean I don't jam to this one in the car, though. Number 10, OP3. I'm not gonna butcher any Japanese, so it's on the screen. I think the song is pretty okay in this opening, which is surprising for me because I like heavier music. However, I think the visuals of this opening absolutely carry. The beginning intro with the snare drum flashing through all the different characters, the shots of Ichigo and his friends and the Rex Soul Society, getting to see some of the captains, and extra points for that shot where Ichigo gets turned into white during the opening. Absolutely sick. Also, the tease of Ichigo's Bankai and his fight with Byakuya, amazing. Number 9, OP5, Rolling Star. I really wanted to put this OP up higher. Absolutely love the artist who made this one, as they made one of my favorite openings of all time, the first opening for Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So of course with my bias, I absolutely love the song. However, this must be another opening that happens during an arc that I have not seen, because a lot of shots consist of the characters in street clothes and then running through the streets. However, it doesn't mean it doesn't fit with it. I really like this opening overall, I just think some of the other openings do it better. Number 8, Opening 2, D Techno Life. It may be because this opening was one of the few I saw when I was watching Bleach at first, but I think this opening is pretty solid. The song is pretty good, and the visuals fit the rescue arc that's happening at the time. Even if it clickbaits us with some fights we don't get to see, like Toshiro versus Ishida, with Soifon versus Chad. However, we do get to see the big fight between Renji and Ichigo, including one of the iconic panels with both of them. So I think this opening is pretty good. Number 7, Opening 9, Velonica. Man, as soon as the bass kicked in the first time I heard this opening, I knew it was going to be something. Shoujo S earlier in the list showed Bleach's... Shoujo S earlier in the list really showed... Shoujo S earlier in the list showed how many characters Bleach really has, but I think Velonica absolutely outdoes this with the bass line hitting as the characters are on screen. Plus, getting to see their pictures from different angles really shows more personality in each character than just one still image. Plus, we get that great shot of Ichigo walking forward and all the people starting to appear around him, and then showing Aizen on the other side. Then it continues to showcase how many characters it has by showing the visored. Then we get that great bit of Ichigo being animated differently. I think this opening really just shows how many characters are in Bleach, which has always been a factor that I love, because even if I can't remember some of their names sometimes, I still remember who they are and what they do in the story. Number 6, Opening 15, Harukaze. Man, I will not tolerate any Fullbring slander on this channel. When I was getting into Bleach and heard that everybody hated the arc right after the Aizen saga, I got kind of nervous that it was going to drop off in quality, but I absolutely love the Fullbring arc. I could honestly see why people don't like it, but for me, it was everything I could have asked for after the Aizen saga. With a pretty solid song and visuals showing that Ichigo might have to adapt to modern life, only to find a new threat and to fight it in different ways, is a really cool concept to me. Plus, this opening starts to introduce us to Execution, adding to the ever-growing roster of Bleach's characters. Also, it gets extra points for how clean the end of Bleach's animation was. But the thing that absolutely solidified this opening to get into the top 6 is the part where Ichigo's walking towards the camera and you see all of the different Bleach title cards in the background. The first time I saw that, it actually gave me chills. It really shows that even if Aizen is gone, the Ichigo's journey is still ongoing. Number 5, Opening 6, Alones. Man, the song for this opening is an absolute banger, which is no surprise. Aquatimes being the band that did this and Velonica, which is another guilty pleasure in the openings for me. However, I may be biased because this does take place during one of my favorite arcs in Bleach, and I think it really sets the stake for what's left in the Aizen saga. Also, bonus points for the scene of Kon singing. That's probably secretly why it's actually up here. Number 4, Opening 1, Asterisk. Man, sometimes you just can't beat the original. I remember when I first started watching Bleach, I was not sold on this opening whatsoever. But as I got farther and farther into the episodes, this opening grew on me really fast. I think it perfectly sets the mood for the beginning of Bleach, because at that time it was a completely different show, and story altogether. With a very recognizable song and visuals that give you a little glimpse into the world of Bleach, I think that this opening is the perfect first opening for a show. Number 3, Opening 12, Change. Man, I really can't think of too many bad things to say about this opening. The visuals absolutely kill it, showing connections we may have never even known, and fights that we're going to get to see in the arc. The clash of the captains and the Espada. Plus, it features references to one of my absolute favorite moments in the entire story. Some of the Espada in this section are some of my absolutely favorite design characters. Seeing the visuals with Ilkiora fighting Ichigo is just absolutely hype. And with a banger song, this one is definitely top tier in my opinion. Number 2, OP7, After Dark. Man, I don't think I've ever heard an Asian Kung Fu Generation opening that I didn't like. Their one from Naruto being one of my favorite openings ever. Like previously mentioned, this opening is also during one of my favorite sections of the entire story. So it gets props for having a great song and great visuals for one of the best sections of the story in my opinion. Getting to see the Espada at the table, and getting to see Ichigo rip through the wall and try to take a stab at Aizen is absolutely hype. However, when it comes to hype, there's one opening that I think does it the best in the show. Number 1, Opening 13, Ranbu no Melody. I don't think this is a surprise to anyone that this is number 1 on my list. I mean, people who have never even seen Bleach or never even read a single page have heard this opening before. The song is absolutely iconic, and Sid kills it on this song just like they did on Rain for Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. This opening was actually the reason I wanted to start Bleach, because I saw it in an anime opening compilation and I was like, wow, that looks sick. First half is dedicated to showing what the town would look like if there were bystanders in the nearby fight. And then the halfway mark hits and it just absolutely spirals out of control. The song picking up with the action and correlation is absolutely killer, because it really shows you how the characters can fight on their own, as Ichigo isn't even present, representing that by not showing him until the actual end, which is actually relevant to the story. And with a great song and absolutely stunning visuals during the fight, Ranbu no Melody goes down as not only my favorite Bleach opening, but one of my absolute favorite openings of all time. If you made it all the way to the end, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I've been wanting to make videos like this for a long time, but never really had the guts to do it, so I want to say thank you to all my friends who have supported me through this process. Looking back on it now, I kind of wish I would have had more to say about certain openings, but at the end of the day, it's just for fun, and it's not really meant to be like the, like, super strict list that you have to follow. Like, I'm sure people have their own way of ranking stuff, or some people just don't even care about ranking, so. But if you are one of those people that like to watch people rank stuff, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for even clicking on my channel. And with that, I will see you in the next one, whenever that video may be, and have a beautiful day, night, week, month, year, years, decade. I don't know. Just be good people.